You are now watching The Beach.
It's hard to believe the Nintendo 3DS released over 13 years ago. It really doesn't feel like that long ago. I remember the day when I first got my Nintendo 3DS, all the way back in 2012. It's an excellent system. Not only does it have a great library of games, but it has that Nintendo magic you don't see nowadays. I will admit, the magic is still there with the games. The Switch has some of the greatest Nintendo games ever made. What I mean by this is that the Nintendo Switch is solely a game system without any charming apps or features. But with the Nintendo 3DS, you have AR games, which were some of the first augmented reality games. These were so much fun. Playing the games and seeing Mario and friends in your house was the coolest thing. Then there's Nintendo 3DS Sound that's shockingly a perfect tool to make any song into a nightcore or slow and reverb version.
Sky blue, red, full and gold.
And who could forget the classic health and safety information app? Now, in all seriousness, the Nintendo 3DS has a ton of fun apps and features that showcase what the Iwata era of Nintendo was all about. But the best feature of the Nintendo 3DS isn't even a question. It's none other than StreetPass. If you don't know what StreetPass is, it's a feature of the 3DS that allows you to interact with other 3DS players. You'd simply have your 3DS in sleep mode and walk by other players. From there, not only would you get that satisfying green light, but you'd also exchange game data. In Animal Crossing New Leaf, the player's house will show up in your town. You can also race against a player's ghost in Mario Kart 7, or beat their coin rush record in New Super Mario Bros. 2. But by far the best feature of StreetPass was in the plaza itself. By getting Street Passes, Miis would appear in your plaza, and the plaza has three main games, being Find Me 1 and 2, and of course, Puzzle Swap. Ever since I was 12, it has been a life goal of mine to get every puzzle piece in Puzzle Swap. From 2012 to 2016, getting a Street Pass was fairly common, and I was able to get a ton of puzzle pieces. But unfortunately, Street Passing became harder and harder to achieve ever since the Nintendo Switch launched. And considering it's been 13 years since the Nintendo 3DS released, it seems all hope is lost. Unfortunately, my goal of completing every puzzle seemed like a dream. But you know what? I'm gonna follow my dreams, and I was determined to complete every puzzle. But the question is it even possible to get every puzzle piece in Street Pass in the year 2024? Will I be able to achieve a life goal of mine that I've had ever since I was 12? Our journey starts off in Boston, Massachusetts. March 2024. My plaza started off at a population of 756. The last tag I got was 5 years ago, so it has been a long time. That being said, there was a very specific reason I was in Boston for the beginning of the journey. PAX East. StreetPass has a very dedicated community, and I was invited to speak at the StreetPass Live 2 panel, which was organized by Uncle Nick the Gaming Otter and Shane from StreetPass Love. This panel was dedicated to keeping the StreetPass dream alive. It was a great panel. It started off with Aqua Twist's trailer for his game Trilenium, and then we got into the games. Audience members were invited to play Find Me 2, and even won trophies and the grand prize of a modded 3DS. The segment that I did was about modding the 3DS, and we even had an audience member come up to play Virtual Boy Wario Land. The panel was a big success, and it went to showcase that the community for Street Pass is still thriving. And we're coming back to PAX West for Street Pass Live 3. PAX East was my very first convention as a YouTuber, and it marked the return to my Street Pass journey. The first day I arrived in Boston was to meet up with Uncle Nick since we were staying together. He was my first Street Pass tag since 2018, and the adventure continued throughout PAX East. And this is when the Street Passes started rolling in. I was at around 900 puzzle pieces at the start. The total I needed is 1,682. Throughout my entire first day at PAX East, I was able to get a lot of Street Passes. That's also the day we did Street Pass Live too. The first day of PAX isn't as busy as the rest of the convention, but the Street Pass turnout helped me complete quite a few puzzles. I also reached 500 tags the first day. Aqua Twist was there for that. My plaza also went up to a population of 796. Needless to say, day 1 was a success. Day 2 rolls around and we are in full swing. Shane and I arrived at PAX in style and were determined. Day 2 was a Friday, so PAX was busier. Surprisingly, the Street Pass turnout was around the same as day 1. Though to be fair, day 1 also had Street Pass Live too, the event dedicated to Street Pass. But on Friday, that's when I was starting to get Street Passes from Nintendo YouTubers. The first one was Ash Paulson from Good Vibes Gaming. This goes into the third day of PAX, but Ash also held a meetup for Good Vibes Gaming, where he encouraged fans to bring their 3DS. He is definitely a passionate member of the community as well. Day 2 of PAX East was very significant for another reason as well. That is the day where I met the man, the myth, the legend himself, Jeff Grubb.
I was right.
He was right!
I didn't get a Street Pass from him. I don't even think he brought his 3DS. But even if I didn't get a single Street Pass on day 2, it still would have been a success, because I met Jeff. But lo and behold, I was still able to get a ton of puzzle pieces and Street Passes day 2. The results of day 2 at PAX East put me at 1,447 of the 1,682 puzzle pieces, and my plaza went to a population of 836 with 578 tags. We're now on to day 3 of PAX East, my final day there. This was a Saturday and was likely to be the busiest day, so I had a very good chance of getting every puzzle piece. Can we do it? Time to find out. Throughout the day, I was getting a ton of Street Passes. That iconic green light was flashing throughout the whole time there. I was able to even get a Street Pass from the legend Nintendo himself when I met him there. Considering how busy Saturday is at PAX and how many Street Passes I got, could the time have finally come? By the end of PAX East, I went from a plaza population of 756 with 480 tags to one with a population of 893 with 661 tags. That right there is very impressive, but the main goal of my Street Pass journey was to get every puzzle piece in Puzzle Swap. The moment I've been waiting for since 2012 did not happen. I wasn't able to get every puzzle piece at PAX East. Towards the end, I was within 100 puzzle pieces of collecting every puzzle piece, and when you're within 100, you no longer get a bonus chance. It's back to 1 puzzle piece per me. So in order to have a chance at completing my goal, I needed to get more Street Passes and meet more me's. About 100 more at least. My Street Pass journey wasn't over, and I'd continue it in June at Too Many Games. I didn't get every puzzle piece at PAX East. However, it was far from a failure. It was an absolute huge success. Not only did I complete a ton of puzzles, but I did get every pink puzzle piece. The pink puzzle pieces can only be obtained via Street Pass and can't be obtained via play coins. If I wanted to, I could just gamble for the rest of the pieces with play coins, but that could perhaps take even longer. They're only good for getting puzzle pieces in the beginning because you'll get so many duplicates afterwards that it's not even worth it. So after PAX East, I continued my journey by going to Too Many Games in Philadelphia. Too Many Games was my second gaming convention. Day 1 of the convention. We're starting off with a population of 911 and 664 tags. My population may have increased when I was playing some of the final online games before the server shut down, and the only other tags that I got were from my other 3DS systems being on by accident, and I got no puzzle pieces from them, so I was still at less than 100 puzzle pieces away from my goal. We just need to meet a ton of me's, and maybe could get every puzzle piece. Hey Riders, how many Street Pass tags do you think I'm gonna get?
0.
He's gonna be wrong!
Negative 10,000.
My first Street Pass of Too Many Games was from Reese. It was actually our first time meeting in real life too, and it was quite fitting it was also our first time street passing. And from there, we were off to Too Many Games. Too Many Games is a different convention compared to PAX East. While PAX East is about gaming in general and is more focused on new games, Too Many Games is a completely retro convention. The experience at Too Many Games is all about shopping for retro games. Surprisingly, you can actually get some pretty good deals. I was able to get Vertical Force for the Virtual Boy and Panic Bomber for just $90 together. But they also had a full arcade with a ton of classic games. It was my first time actually playing and seeing a real Donkey Kong 3. Now with the 3DS, I refuse to call it retro just yet. When the Switch 2 releases, that's when it becomes retro. But Too Many Games had perhaps even more enthusiastic 3DS fans than PAX East. On day 1, my plaza went from a population of 911 to 944, and 664 to 700 tags. Some of the people there were also at PAX East. It was a very successful day getting puzzle pieces, and I ended off needing less than 45 to achieve my life goal. Could day 2 be the day where I finally completed my journey? Day 2 of Too Many Games was hands down the busiest day of the convention. I got most of my shopping done on Friday, and was able to nearly complete my Virtual Boy collection, and I got Mario Party 7 as well. Only game for the Virtual Boy I need now is Jack Brothers, but I don't know, 800 for a game? A bit much, don't you think? I had 2 goals that day, finding a box copy of Kablooey, and getting every puzzle piece in Street Pass. One of those did not happen, but which one was it? Throughout the day, I was getting a ton of Street Passes. Every time I looked at my 3DS, there was hardly ever a moment where I didn't see that green light. I only needed around 45 puzzle pieces. I was in the home stretch of completing my life goal since I was 12. Throughout day 2, I was consistently checking Street Pass and getting as many puzzle pieces as humanly possible. Things were getting very close. But then, something dawned on me. I had a ton of play coins saved up. Considering I didn't have many puzzles left to complete, using play coins actually became useful. You can't get duplicate pieces for puzzles you've already completed, so it's actually very useful in the end of your puzzle swap journey. I got a lot of puzzle pieces this way, but still not enough to get every single one. And considering you can only earn 10 play coins per day, more street passes were required. Day 2 was coming to an end. Reese and I decided to end off the day by getting dinner at the Perky, of course. I still had a queue of Miis in the Street Pass Plaza, but it could have ended one of 2 ways. If the Miis didn't have the puzzle pieces, I'd have to continue into day 3. But if they did, my journey would have been complete. And here's what happened. Alright, now, this is the final Street Pass thing before getting all the pieces. If at least one of them out of the 6, and I think there's a good chance has it, we'll be able to finish Street Pass Puzzle Swap at Perky's. And we reached the achievement of 1,000 in the plaza.
That's really cool.
So not only do we have a good chance of getting every puzzle piece, but also 1,000 in the plaza after 12 years almost. I started in July of 2012, so this journey has been insane. Okay, it is happening. It is about to happen. We gotta see where the final puzzle is. Alright. It should have just shown where it is, but I think it's like one of the later ones.
Yeah. I think I saw it a little bit ago. There it is.
Here it is. We got the final puzzle piece. Get ready for it.
Final Fantasy Explorers.
And what a fitting end for a puzzle swap. Wow. I just can't believe that It's finally happened. Every single puzzle piece, all 1,682, are complete. You got all of the puzzle pieces. And that is an end of an era. I was finally able to complete every StreetPass puzzle after a journey of almost 12 years. To say I was at a loss for words would be an understatement. I couldn't believe the day finally happened. But yes, I started on July 19th, 2012, and my StreetPass journey concluded on June 29th, 2024. It is the most satisfying end to a game I have ever experienced, and my plaza went to a population of 1,000 at the same time. Even though I completed every puzzle on day 2, there was still a final day of too many games. Even though I completed Find Me and Puzzle Swap, that didn't mean I was all of a sudden done with StreetPass. Shane from StreetPass Love hosted a meetup, and the turnout was incredible. If it wasn't for the community, I may have never gotten to achieve my goal. And if you do happen to collect every puzzle piece, bring your 3DS with you and help those trying to do it out. And that is a perfect ending to too many games. So now you might be wondering, whatever happened to trying to find that box copy of Kablooey? I kid you not, Too Many Games had every rare game that you could think of. They had Little Samson, they had Flintstone Surprise at Dinosaur Peak, they even had Nintendo World Championships, but no box Kablooey. I did, however, get a copy for $5, just a cartridge, so that goal was still achieved in a way. I couldn't recommend going to conventions enough if you're interested in StreetPass. They're the place to StreetPass nowadays, and even if you can't go to conventions, the community is still going strong. StreetPass Love has events posted on his Twitter that take place all around the world. Make sure to give his page a follow if you love StreetPass. Finally, I gotta give a big shout out to the inspiration for my StreetPass journey. That being none other than the king of StreetPass himself, Uncle Nick. Uncle Nick has been at this since 2011. If you haven't already, go subscribe to his channel, The Gaming Otter, because he's Uncle Nick, Uncle Nick, Uncle Nick, and that's all you need to know. Though in all honesty, he posts a lot of videos about 3DS games, StreetPass Tomodachi Life. If you love the 3DS, you're gonna love his channel. So what do you guys think? I have a lot of videos about StreetPass coming soon, including one for PAX West. Let me know in the comments, and as always, keep calm and da-da on.